The Nikon 50mm f1.4G is a lightweight and tack-sharp standard lens on full-frame DSLR.
So today I wanted to do an unboxing video for my new Nikkor 50mm AFS G lens. Basically this is bought to replace my older AFD lens now, which is getting a little tired, and the focus motor on that's a little bit noisy, and the price of the 50mm 1.4 has come down quite a bit, so I thought why not get it upgraded and get the addition of the silent wave motors. So this lens itself will work on any DX or FX camera for those out there interested. Because it's a G lens, which means it's gelded, it has an inbuilt focus motor, so you don't need a camera with a focus motor in it. So this will work on your D3100s, D60s, pretty much all of the Nikon cameras it's going to work on. So what we're going to do is we're going to get it unboxed and take a little look, and then I'll also have some sample images at the end just to show you what it's like at the various apertures. Right, so here we go, let's get this 50mm unboxed, and then I can go away and have a little play and get some test shots, which will be following on from the unboxing through the magic of time warp. So if we get into the box here, obviously it comes in the usual Nikon gold box, which is a lovely box as far as boxes go. So first things first, get the pouch. I don't really use these, in fairness it'll go back in the box when it's done. It's not padded, so it's not going to offer much protection other than to stop your lens from being scratched. I don't know really anybody that uses them. If you use them, let me know. Do you use it? Do you find it any use? So next thing in here is we've got the warranty card stuff. So warranty card, an instruction manual. Again, not a fan of instructions, although in all fairness, I don't know of anybody who reads instruction manuals for lenses, and lenses are usually pretty self-explanatory. But they're there for those people that do need the instructions. So let's get into the important bit, which is the lens itself. So we just take this and stick this off to the side. So obviously Nikon's changed the egg cartons again, and they used to use paper, but they seem to have gone to this plastic. I don't know what the reason why is. I would have thought paper is more recyclable than plastic, but you know, it is a plastic egg carton. So if we just get in here. Right, so basically it comes with a hood. Now this didn't come with the previous EFD lens. In fact, you had to buy a hood separately, and in fairness it was a rubber, which wasn't the greatest in the world if I'm honest. But this does come with the HB47 hood. I don't know if you can see that there. Pretty handy, handy to have that on, especially in brightly lit situations, help keep your pictures contrasty and stop stray light getting in as well. But the important bit is the lens. So we get rid of the egg carton, useful for Easter eggs or something, I'd imagine. So let's get in here and have a little look. Right, so there we have it. This is the Nikkor 50mm 1.4 AFS lens. Obviously this is a G lens, which means it's gelded, which means that it's going to autofocus on every Nikon camera that there is. So you don't have to worry about it, because this one's got a built-in focus motor. Obviously it is a silent wave motor, which is the reason I'm upgrading to this lens, which means you're going to get nice quiet autofocus, unlike the EFD, which was quite clunky and loud. So obviously you get your distance scale over here, which I'll just bring it up to the camera a little bit. Comes with the usual sort of switches you get on the side here. So you've got manual A, which is obviously for full auto, or you can just manually override with the focusing ring, or just full-on manual as well if you need that. Which, to be fair, I would use that if I was doing video or something like that. Obviously this lens is weather sealed, so you can take it out in the elements. If we just show you the rear element here. So the rear element, it does have a little gasket around the back, just to weather seal it against your camera's body, which is a must. And obviously there's your rear element there. In fact, we'll show you the elements here. Right, so obviously, yeah, nice wide piece of glass there. You see straight through there, so that's going to let in lots of light, which is going to be, yeah, really nice in low light conditions. So So there it is, the Nikkor 50mm 1.4 G lens. Phenomenal lens. I'm looking forward to getting some test shots with this to see what it is. As I said, there's going to be some test shots of this coming up in a sec, so you can have a look at it as well. Nope, EFD's gone. This is now going to take its place. So looking forward to using that. So stay tuned, because we've got some test shots coming up, just so you can see what this lens can actually do. Right, so let's take a look at some of the sample images. I have to say thank you to my model for today, which was my younger brother, who popped by and unwittingly became the star of this particular video. So basically, all these images we're about to go through, all shot on my Nikon D800, obviously running through f-stops of 1.4 to f11. Didn't see the point of going beyond f11. You know, it just, for some cameras, it gets a bit more depth of field by then. Unfortunately, the D800 does suffer from diffraction after 11. Distance to subject with this probably around about 20 to 30 centimeters. So even at f11, you know, you still got a little bit of the background blown out a little bit. But that's just because obviously distance to subject. Obviously, distance does affect your depth of field, but that's for a whole nother video. So basically, yeah, on here you can see this is shot at ISO 800. In fact, all of them were shot at ISO 800 on the D800 50mm 1.4. Very, very nice shallow depth of field, and really sort of separating the subject from the background. You know, that background is so creamy, it's almost buttery. You know, so great bokeh. Now, basically, yeah, by f2.8. This is when the lens is at its super sharpest. F2 to f11 is kind of the sharper point of this lens. Does suffer a little bit from vignetting at 1.4 and 2.8, although these can easily be removed with Lightroom or Photoshop, so it's not very difficult to remove anyway. But very, very punchy images. Next one shot at f4, obviously still getting a reasonably nice shallow depth of field here. The background still nicely blown out, and so it's not distracting you, still separating you know, your subject from the background. Next shot at 5.6, fantastic sort of punchy image here, really clear. Background starting to come into a little bit of focus now, which it always would, but 5.6. Next image shot at f8, you can see for yourself, does a fantastic job at f8, and then moving on we've got it at f11. Obviously didn't bother going anything beyond f11, I didn't see the point, and also as I say, the D800 suffers from diffraction after f11, so the images tend to start getting a little bit soft after that anyway. So there we have it, my brief review on the Nikkor 50mm 1.4 G lens. And this lens is definitely something worth considering. As you can see from the images, that, you know, it's super sharp, especially once you get to f2 where it gets its sharpest. All the way through to f8, this lens is phenomenal, as it was with the EFD. I mean, there's not much between this and the EFD, and as I say, the only reason I've upgraded is purely for the focus motor. You know, this one has a silent wave one, so it's a lot quieter than the old EFD lens. You know, this is a lens that every photographer should have in their bag, and to be fair, a lot do. So if you're considering buying one of these, definitely worth it. There is another one which obviously is the 1.8, which is kind of 2/3 of a stop and darker as far as the aperture goes. But it is a phenomenal lens in itself. So if you're on a budget, you know, as I said, this cost me about £350-ish, and there is the 1.8 as well, which is on, you know, coming up just about £250. So it's £100 cheaper. But the 1.8G is almost as good as quality, it's very comparable. So if you're on a budget, then consider the 1.8 as an alternative. You know, the quality difference between the two is very minimal. The only reason really to get the 1.4 is if you need that extra 2/3 of a stop in light, which for me I need, because, you know, if I'm shooting in a dark lit situation, say, you know, I was doing a wedding shoot in a church, I need all the light that I can gather. So for me, 1.4 it has to be. But if it's not critical, then the 1.8 is definitely worth considering. But that's my review.